Hello, everyone. It's the Dread Pirate, and today we're gonna have a bit of a movie review, and naturally, we're gonna talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. And if it hasn't been kind of obvious already, I'm a big fan of Marvel Comics, and so you'll probably not be surprised that too long don't read. You want to know my opinion of the movie? I liked it. It was a good movie. As a rule, the Marvel movies I think are pretty good. I even like the ones nobody likes. I like Thor 1 and Thor 2. I like Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, in my opinion, if you want my personal opinion of what is one of the worst MCU movies, it's Iron Man 3. It's still not the worst thing that's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That hands down belongs to Inhumans. Humans is nasty crap. Long and short of it, I had a really good time. I really enjoyed the movie. But let's just get right into it. Let's get right into the review here. So it was a fun little adventure comedy. Very much in the same of the tone of the original Ant-Man, but of course they were following on from stuff from the original Ant-Man that was set up there. And at the same time, we're also dealing with kind of the fallout of Civil War, is what's going on in this movie. But it was really good. I think of my buddy Josh, who's also like absolutely freaking detests Iron Man 3. I don't think he hates it, but he, like, if you want to ask him what his personal worst of the Marvel movies is, it's Iron Man 3's up there. He really doesn't like Iron Man 3, and I don't blame him. Mandarin should be a Chinese man with rings on his hands that are alien dragon technology, because that's what the Mandarin is, and he's not Guy Pearce. He's not the extremist. I get it. There's a lot of problems. I like that movie, but it's by no means flawless. I think I found a bit of a disagreement with Josh on this too. It's like my personal feeling is, I feel like I might be getting ahead of myself here, but it was like I feel like, in terms of all the supporting casts of the Marvel movies, and I mean, like, the human side characters, I think the Ant-Man, the Wasp crew is the best. I really like Michael Pena and the little crew of thieves that he has going on. In this one, they're trying to form a security company, and it just I think out of all, like, just the supporting characters, these are probably some of the funniest we have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're the most fun, and they contributed greatly to the plot here. But yeah, basically they're following through on the events of some of the previous movies. Basically, I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, but I do want to basically kind of give you a setup. Basically, Ant-Man is Scott Lang specifically is basically under house arrest for his actions in Captain America: Civil War, and while he's like 2 days away from that, and all of a sudden, Wasp and Hank Pym Ant-Man come back into his life, and they need his help desperately to go track down Hope's mother, the original Wasp, and see if they can actually go into the quantum realm. That's basically what's required in this movie, and that's what's going on. But of course, it's not as simple as that. They're being shadowed by a mysterious villain known as Ghost, who apparently has the ability to phase through solid matter. I keep forgetting this guy's name, but he's a really awesome character actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was the convict in Predators. He's just a big character, and you'll see him in everything. But basically, he's a crime boss trying to get a hold of Hank Pym's technology. So he's kind of like a sub villain they got going in there. Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie as Goliath, or Black Goliath, and he's rather a joy in this movie. But yeah, I don't know how to go into much more without getting into major spoilers. But I feel like one thing that's really great about the Ant-Man movies is that he has one of the most creative powers out of all the Marvel characters. His ability to shrink and yet gain super strength while shrinking, and then to grow giant and back and forth very, very rapidly, as well as being able to control bugs. It was creative in the first movie, especially like in the scene with like the fight on the little toy set and all that. It gets even crazier in this one. We see more stuff shrink. We see more stuff expand. You've got giant ants, because you need giant ants, because Earth Defense Force. There's good action. There's good back and forth. It's this big kind of frantic, fun, comedic adventure, mostly with Scott Lang, Hank Pym, and Evangeline Tilly Wasp at the forefront of it. This also, I feel like after Killmonger and Thanos, Marvel, the Marvel movies have been trying their hardest to get more complex and interesting villains, because they always, for the longest time, they had that accusation, which I think is unfair and a little unfounded. It's a stereotype, and a stereotype do come from somewhere. I can see people pointing out, a little bit, but the accusation that, all your villains are the same, it's just a big bad guy who's often blue, who wants to take over the world, who wants to blow up the world with some kind of big sky beam. I feel like that is an exaggeration and not very fair. It does come from a place, so, but not that I don't agree with it, but I feel like there's been major effort to make the villains more complex, especially with Killmonger, who was very complex and very intricate, very interesting backstory. Thanos being, first of all, a horrible monster a threat so great you cannot look away, but also having a lot of dimension to him and essentially being the star of Infinity War. In this one, Ghost is a very much of a sympathetic villain, and we get another character that's kind of surprising to be a villain, who basically is kind of doing something bad for the right reasons, and it was kind of neat where it's like there's a conflict, but the person they're in conflict with is not really a bad person, they're just desperate. Highlights, the action pretty much through and through is very, very good. There's a couple moments where there's great little escapes, really great action scenes with them using their powers, and in particular, I think things get really, really creative and cool when we see characters start going down, shrinking smaller and smaller into the quantum realm. There's a really fun little scene with one of the characters basically essentially in a petri dish, not actually in a petri dish, but basically so small he's basically surrounded by parameciums and amoebas and things like that, and it is a comment of, it's like, I never thought it would be so beautiful, and it's very good. It's very good. Overall, it was a very good movie. Marvel has yet to disappoint me at any great length. I mean, even Inhumans and Iron Fist is just kind of laughably bad, but overall, Marvel does a very, very good job. I have my concerns with a couple things on the horizon. As I complained about recently, and apparently I am the last person to know about this, I'm concerned about James Gunn's firing, especially because I think it's a really stupid idea, given the fact that basically he's the guy that was helming Guardians 1 and 2 and did a great job with it. I think it's really stupid to kick him off the project now, especially for a joke he made 9 years ago. Apparently I am the last person to know these things, so that's my dumbass's fault. But I am a little concerned, but at the end of the day, Kevin Feige, he keeps that pimp hand strong, and he does a good job with these movies. Of course, we had the after credits ending. The after credits ending does tie into Infinity War, and it's a good old. It's like they caught up to what was going on with old Thanos, and I don't want to give it away. I strongly encourage you to watch this movie, but it's good. It's good. It's really good. The movie is a really fun time. It's a really great ride. It's a fun little comedy. It's kind of a nice, happy, lighthearted adventure, breath of fresh air from Infinity War, but then it comes back at the very end and reminds you that Thanos must be dealt with, and it's even affecting people like Scott Lang, and Ant-Man will have to deal with this as well in the near future. So overall, another Marvel movie, does a great job. Very, very good movie. I really enjoyed it. I don't have much else to say about it without getting into spoilers. And seriously, go watch this movie. You'll have a great time. It's great. I don't really have anything else to say without getting into spoilers. And I don't really feel like spoiling this one. There's nothing. I mean, it's overall just really entertaining. A lot of fun sequences. A lot of good. It's really good, especially after like my last two movies being like Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom and Solo. It's just like, oh my god, it's like your favorite flavor of ice cream. It's just delicious. It's just wonderful. So much better than that nasty crap. But in speaking of movies, since I got you here, I want to bitch about the trailers for a minute, because so here's the thing. I feel like the only good movies out right now, and have been for like the last couple of years, are Marvel movies. Which again, Marvel fan, not really complaining about that. I'm glad Marvel's giving me good movies, but it's like nobody else knows how to make a movie anymore. Again, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom sucks, Last Jedi sucks, Solo sucks. I'm getting a little concerned here. And so I saw 4 trailers before Ant-Man, and all 4 of them sucked. Or sucked enough. There was something called The Darkest Minds, which looked like X-Men, but, like, I don't know, but not, and it was, like, a bunch of kids who have, like, psychic powers, and the government doesn't like them, and it's fucking X-Men. And it looked like, I think it's based on a novel series, and it looks like it could be good. That was the thing. It was like, just really, like, there was, like, 3 meh trailers, and then one that just flat out pissed me off. But, like, you know, it looked like it could be good. I might want to give it a chance, but at the same time, it just, like, I think part of the problem was the trailer is just so melodramatic, and it's like, this is the most epic thing you'll ever see, and it's clearly not, and it's very cliched, and it was just irritating. I really hated the trailer for that. Then there was Fantastic Beasts 2. Now, I liked Fantastic Beasts 1, but at the same time, I thought it was kind of Just kind of, it was, Fantastic Beasts 1 was okay. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I did enjoy the movie. Harry Potter movies, it's like, again, I'm not a big Harry Potter person at all. I'm like, but every time I've sat down and watched a Harry Potter movie, I've enjoyed it. I think J.K. Rowling does a good job. I think all the actors that have been in the Harry Potter movies do a good job. And going in completely blind and not knowing anything about the universe, I always have a reasonably good time with a Harry Potter film. It's, you know, I like my fantasy. And, like, Fantastic Beasts was interesting as just kind of this prequel to Harry Potter, but I really felt like the first one, he didn't really utilize his premise too much as, like, this one wizard who's all, it's like, oh, I study all these different fantastic magical creatures and things like that, but we never really focus on those creatures. It really just kind of dealt more with the whole stupid, like, wizard-muggle conflict, but just in 1930s and 40s New York. And it's just like, you know, that was kind of my problem with it. It was like, it felt like it was focusing too much on being a Harry Potter prequel than being its own thing. I liked a lot of the characters in it. I liked the fat guy, who I forgot the name of, who's like the Muggle and is discovering this for the first time. He was the best character. Then there was the girl that was the sister of the cop sorcerer lady, who's like an empath, and she was like a flapper girl, and she was hot, and she really liked the fat guy, and she was cool. I really liked them the most in the movie. I thought they were the most fun characters in it. Anyway, yeah, Fantastic Beasts. It was good. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the greatest ever. And Fantastic Beasts 2 just looks like more of the same. It looks okay. I might enjoy it. Fat guy's back. I like the fat guy. Flapper girl's back. I like her. But now they're focusing more on this Grimroll guy, or whoever Johnny Depp's character was, like some kind of. And again, I don't read Stephanie Meyer, so I don't know who these people are. But he's some sort of like evil proto Voldemort, and I don't care. But whatever, it looks okay. But I'm like, meh. And that's kind of worse than it just being shit. It's just like, it just kind of leaves me eh. Then there was the Nutcracker in the Four Realms, which is like, let's take the Nutcracker and make it a fantasy movie, because yeah. And it's like, it's got nothing to do with the fucking with the Nutcracker suite, which annoyed me, because it's like the Nutcracker's a classic freaking ballet, and it's awesome, and you're just not going to do anything with that. And again, it looks like it could be good, because it's like, all right, we're going to do the Nutcracker, we're going to make it a fantasy movie, and it's like, okay, I like fantasy movies, that could be fine. And it's like, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it just looked really, really dumb, and I got a feeling it's going to be really, really dumb. And on top of that, there's like, okay, there's no Rat King. You know, there's a witch lady who commands rats, but there's no Rat King, and it's like, okay, that's dumb. Okay, Morgan Freeman's Drosselmeyer, and it's like, oh, okay, Morgan Freeman's Drosselmeyer, that's good casting. Morgan Freeman's an amazing, awesome actor. It's like, why not? But it just looks like it's gonna be really stupid and formulaic and dumb, and I got a feeling it's gonna suck, and it's gonna have nothing to do with the original. It's just gonna be like cut and paste. Like it felt like Alice, like the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movies, those really bad ones. And it's just like, no, don't do that. And on top of that, it looks like it's gonna be really stupid, and it pissed me off. And I shouldn't say this next part, but I'm just gonna bring it up because I can't avoid it. So the Nutcracker's a black guy in this movie. He's a young black guy. This shouldn't matter because I'm making myself sound like a racist here. I'm not, and I don't really. It's not really an issue. It's just, here's the problem. It's because of The Last Jedi. Like, anytime I see a young black man who I've never seen before in, like, a starring role in a movie, like, since then, I didn't do this before, but every time I do, I just see, like, this voice in my head says diversity hire. It's like, it does that. I didn't do that before. Like, okay, for example, like, maybe you can follow me on this. Like, there was all this hubbub, the past couple of years about like putting like Asian actors or actresses in movies to like court China, because China buys a lot of our movies now, and China's like really like anytime you have like an Asian actor in anything, it's like, oh, we're trying to court the Asian market. So like in Independence Day 2, you got that little Chinese girl who's the pilot, like that comes aboard. Her dad's in charge of the space station. It's like, hey China, buy our movie. And you like in like one of the Transformers movie, it's in Hong Kong. Come on China, like us. It's like the Great Wall is like an entire movie that's basically China, please like this. And it's just like, and even stuff like Rogue One, like Donnie Yen is in it, and it's like, oh look, an Asian guy, come on. And it's like, of course, and that didn't even occur to me until like many years later, because like when I see Donnie Yen, it's like, oh, you were that really awesome guy from Highlander 4, and it's like, so it's just like, so as a result, I'm a really huge Chirrut fan from Rogue One, because it's like, oh, yeah, you're like the best thing about Highlander Endgame, man. You're like the only thing good about Highlander Endgame. You're awesome. And then he's like, I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me, and he just beats the shit out of stormtroopers with a staff, and it's fucking awesome. I love Donnie Yen. But yeah, and even Rose, it's like, please buy us China, which didn't work at all with The Last Jedi. But yeah, it's like it's kind of like that, and it's like anytime I like see like a character like who's like in a starring like I didn't do this before. I mean, like I swear I'm not racist. y'all gonna believe me or not? I know, but it's like I swear, but it's just like anytime I see like a young black actor who's like in a starring role in a movie nowadays, I didn't do this before. I never thought of it before. Who's in a movie? I just see John Boyega now. I just see John Boyega, and I'm like diversity hire. You're just here because inclusion, and it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be a big deal. It's part of my problem with identity politics and The Last Jedi and all this nonsense. Is like it shouldn't matter nowadays. I don't do this. Okay, for example, I don't do this in this movie with Morgan Freeman, because it's like, of course Morgan Freeman's Drosselmeyer. He's Morgan Freeman. Why wouldn't you have Morgan Freeman in your movie? Morgan Freeman's awesome, but I know who Morgan Freeman is. This kid, I don't know who he is. It's just some. Nutcracker's a black guy now. It's like, all right, fine, Nutcracker can be a black guy. But it's like, it's just he's a young dude. He looks like John Boyega. He's not John Boyega, but my mind immediately goes John Boyega. So it's just like, so whatever. I've made a bigger deal about this than I am. I'm gonna get so accused of being a racist. Sorry, people. It just I notice it, and I'm at this point now where I'm like, I feel like I'm noticing like diversity hire nonsense in movies now, and I shouldn't be doing that. And it's just like, but I feel like you kind of, with all this nonsense in Hollywood nowadays, I think it's kind of hard to annoy it. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting. It's just like that character, the Nutcracker in this movie, is so John Boyega, it hurts. It's like, it really is, but whatever. Long and short of the Nutcracker, it looks like it could be good, but it's probably going to be stupid. Okay, but those were all the kind of like meh trailers. The one that really super pissed me off was Dumbo. Okay, Disney, honey, stop pissing me off. We don't need a Dumbo remake. The Dumbo was a classic movie. It's awesome. It doesn't need to be remade. And on top of that, why? It's one of those movies where not only does it not need to be remade, and it's fine enough, and it's just one of those things you can just put on a watch, like if you're in the mood for it, if your kid wants to see it. But at the same time, it's like, seriously, why? I mean, it's one of those things where like we've officially remade everything now. We officially remade everything. It's like Buffy's getting a remake soon, which doesn't need to happen. But you're gonna remake Dumbo. Why? In this age of blockbusters, do you really think anybody wants to see a movie about an elephant that can fly? And it's a stupid CGI Dumbo, and Michael Keaton's in the movie, and it's got human characters in it, and it's just like, no, go fuck yourself. I don't need it. No one needs a Dumbo movie. We definitely don't need a Dumbo movie with humans in it. It's like all the trailers are bad, and I feel like there's no good movies except for Marvel movies right now. And that's retarded. And it's like, and I've seen good movies that are not Marvel movies this year. I saw Shape of Water. The Shape of Water is great. Friggin' excellent movie. So, I mean, but it's just like, other than that, it's like all if you go by the trailers alone, they all look like garbage. Dumbo especially. Dumbo just looked really stupid. Again, the other things, it looked like they could have potential. Darkest Minds, again, X-Men ripoff. I like X-Men. Nutcracker, I like the Nutcracker. I like fantasy. It might be good. Fantastic Beasts was okay, but it's like, yeah, it's just there's nothing really good like coming out, and it's like everything is like remakes now, and it's just like I don't know what to do. I hear there's a new Predator movie coming out. This is my problem. I don't pay attention. I don't fucking pay attention to like entertainment news at all. I just like get surprised. And I got a couple friends who like, oh, by the way, this is coming out. It's like, oh, okay. So I'm probably gonna check out the new Predator because I'm a big Aliens and Predator fan. So I'll probably check that out. And there's also a new Purge movie out, and it's like a prequel. It's the first Purge, and it's like I kind of ran it on this in Jedhead and Mai's Fallout game, but I'll reiterate it here. I like the Purge movies for what they are, but I kind of wasn't feeling the last one because I couldn't buy her name's I called her Juliette Lewis. Juliet from Lost. I couldn't buy. I think her name's Elizabeth. I think it's Elizabeth something. I really like her as an actress. She was on Lost and she was awesome, but she's in Purge 3 election year, and I like, again, acting wise, she did a fine job. She always does an excellent job, but I wasn't feeling her character. I felt that whole movie just feels so Trump versus Hillary. It's not even funny. It's just like, no, just be a Purge movie, guys. It's just like, no, we're gonna have the best Purge. We have the best Purges, all of them. You know, we're gonna have a huge Purge, and Mexico's gonna pay for it, and then. Yeah, you know, it was so Trump versus Hillary. It hurt, and I didn't like it. And I didn't even hate it. It was okay. It was all right. It was a little action, little killing. I liked the Statue of Liberty girls. I want my candy. I do you like I give my mama and daddy. Want my candy. I liked her, but it was just, at the end of I think the big problem with me for the movie was the ending, where it's like Juliet didn't kill the evil president, and it's like, you know, I'm gonna beat you in the election year. It's like, bitch, what if you don't win the election? What if you don't win the election and this guy will just murder your next year around and continue to have murder Christmases? He captured you, he tortured you, shoot him in the face. Let Crossbones do his goddamn job. So anyway, so in conclusion, Man of the Wasp was really, really good. But it's like, yeah, so I'm probably going to check out Predator and First Purge. I mean, again, I'm probably part of the problem. I really am. If I'm just going to go around and, like, watch nothing but sequels and remakes, I'm probably contributing to the problem here, guys. But it's like, but it's true, you know, it's true. You know, hey, Predator's a franchise I like, and as long as they do a good job with it, it's like, I'll support them. If the movie turns out to be shit, you'll hear me complain about it. You'll hear me complain about it right here on this channel. Same thing with First Purge. I'll try not to be too hard on them. I mean, I don't want to be an angry reviewing type unless something really pisses me off. But anyway, again, Ant-Man and the Wasp, go check it out. Excellent movie. Really great job to the cast all around. It was excellent. It's a good Marvel movie. You will enjoy yourself. Again, I'm a little concerned about how things are going on in Hollywood. We need more good films, and there's a lot of crap coming out nowadays. But I guess, you know, we need something for future bad new movie nights, don't we, guys? Well, anyway, this is the Dread Pirate guys saying have a wonderful day and keep dreaming. Excelsior.